tell my hey now. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. We just watched the latest episode 5 of the Night of the
Yes.
Seven Kingdoms.
Yes. And I'm excited.
The big fight, the big tournament, the trial of the seven. Oh my God, will Dunk be found innocent or guilty?
Well, look at and Sitch after the episode, listen to the fight in the book. So he's got some inside information because he went straight to the book, I guess, to see how close it was. But look, the
Yes.
first I love the episode. Obviously, it hasn't turned yet. There's kind of a I was thinking, are they going to go in the Ned Stark direction here? Were you thinking that as well?
Oh yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, I think I knew enough that I didn't think they would like kill off the main character in this. So,
No. But definitely, look, it's Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones traditionally has like characters that you like, main characters like bite the dust.
yes, that is true.
Pretty
That is
readily,
true.
right?
Right.
So the thing is, so it
Well,
starts.
that does happen in this
Yeah.
episode. Yes.
So look, we're assuming that you've watched the episode and that we're going to talk about this with
Yes.
spoilers.
If you're
right? Yeah.
watching this review, you either don't care about spoilers or you've already watched the episode.
Right,
So,
exactly. And
yes.
we're reviewing it right after we watched it. It just came out. It just dropped like an hour ago. I'm super excited about it. Obviously, I don't know, what is your excitement level?
I actually have mixed feelings about this episode.
you've
Look
already-
at that.
Well, look, I in the very beginning, I was getting mixed feelings as well, because so they go into the fight immediately and you're all jazzed up from the last episode to get into this fight.
Yes.
And the fight begins pretty quickly with some.
Well, to be clear, like the setup from last episode was awesome because it's like, okay, they're scrounging, they're like, we need the last fighter, we need the last fighter. Oh my God. And then you have, the other Targaryen prince at the last second joins their side. He's like, yes, I'll support you. And it's like, oh yes, awesome. The actually like good Targaryen joined us, right? So you're all pumped up, ready for this
one
fight
good
to take place.
Targaryen.
Yeah, the only good Targaryen in like in the world.
Which there is a massive amount of irony there, because
Like
that guy kind of got him into the mess to begin with. So he had some responsibility in him being where he was. So it was funny that he was volunteering to fight. So
what do you mean he had a responsibility?
Well, maybe we should go through episode 4 briefly. He goes in and kind of puts him in the situation, puts Duncan in the situation with the. He goes in and walks him through exactly what's going to happen. Correct. Tells him to throw himself on the mercy of the court.
Oh, I don't honestly. I don't remember.
Right. Okay. So he assumes that there's going to be a fight between.
Oh yeah, he's the one.
Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
So he engineers the whole thing, and without knowing that the other Targaryen is going to propose this 7 thing. This
you're
trial by
completely
7.
correct, yes.
Yeah.
He said you should go in there and you should ask for a trial by combat. Right.
Yes.
He's the one that suggested that. Yeah, but then he didn't know that his pissant nephew was going to go, oh, we'll make it a trial by 7. So then you're right, that makes sense that he would feel responsible too to actually be involved in the combat as well. Yeah,
that's why in episode 4 he had the downtrodden look, is because he's like, oh shit, this was all my idea, and now he's totally fucked.
Yes.
Yeah, so because he's like, he's never gonna get 6 other people. He's like, oh my God.
Right.
We're doomed. We're doomed. At least he stood a chance in the trial by combat, right? So that's why he felt ultimately responsible to fight with him. So in the end of the episode, he's trying to get the people together, and he just loses if he doesn't get enough people. And since the good Targaryen engineered this whole thing, he's like, okay, well, I gotta fucking get in there, otherwise I'm gonna feel responsible, since all this was basically my idea.
Right.
Yeah. So you're going, yay, one good person, one good Targaryen, and there's going to be a fight. You're thinking there's going to be a fight this next episode. And like I was saying, we go straight into that fight, and it's great. It's glorious. People are getting stabbed. People are getting hurt, maimed
Donka gets stabbed immediately, like 10 seconds into the
immediately.
fight, immediately gets a lance in the fucking stomach.
Yeah, and
Like,
you're like,
holy shit.
holy shit, he's
Yes.
fucking dead. Like
Yeah.
this is the ultimate Game of Thrones, right? They
I know. I
did
was like,
kill
oh
off the
my
protagonist.
God.
I'm like,
Yeah.
who's gonna be the protagonist now? Who are
Oh,
we
is
gonna
the kid
follow
going to be
now?
the protag now?
Yeah, exactly. So, but then he falls off his horse, and they cut to like a flashback, and I was like, oh no, you don't, you motherfuckers. If this episode ends at the end of the flashback and we don't get the whole fight, like Game of fuck you,
Riot.
Game of
Riot. Yeah.
Thrones. So
Exactly.
that's when I had the mixed feelings. But they did bring it back, and you did get the fight to the end. So
Hmm.
it wasn't.
Yes.
I was fine with it. So what are your mixed feelings on this?
So yeah, so I did the exact same thing. It goes to flashback, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
Um,
please. No.
which is unfortunate because like I actually the flashback itself is good for the
It is.
most
Yeah.
part. It shows him with this girl who, he really liked, and it's kind of them growing up in Flea Bottom or wherever the fuck they were and trying to kind of escape Westeros, and all this fucked up shit happens, and it shows how he ends up meeting the knights, Sir, Arthur Penningtree.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Gives his
um
backstory.
right. Though that part was bizarre because like basically, Penningtree saves him from these horrible fucking scumbags who just murdered his friend. And it's weird because then, and I don't like this was kind of like confusing to me. And actually I should go back because I'd actually skipped this part, or I don't know if they there is no flashback in the book at this part. So I don't know where this comes out from the book because the fight's just the fight. Um is after So Dunk, he gets like stabbed through the leg by one of the assholes, before the knight saves him, and then he,
Yeah.
kills all these guys, and then Dunk's kind of like depressed for a couple days, and then he finds the knight again, and he's like following this guy. And first of all, I'm thinking like, well, I was confused as to did the knight even know that he was being followed by Dunk in the first place? It was kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, they
Like I was
needed
like,
more interaction between the two of them. Like him telling him to go away, boy, or whatever,
right,
right?
like yeah, I was like, is he not? Because I'm guessing he didn't realize Dunk was following him. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of weird because like Dunk is, first of all, the fact that I don't know how, even though he's not running on a horse, he's walking on a horse, and Dunk's like limping because he has a fucking, his legs like horribly, injured. And I'm also wondering like how Dunk's not dying from like infection or
That
like
did strain
having food
credibility.
or anything. Because
So
it's weird. I don't know. The whole thing was strange. I don't like how like they had that. It should have been like he interacts with the knight tells him to fuck off. He follows him, or the knight takes him. Like I just feel like it should have been done differently. It didn't make sense to me. I was like, I don't get what's happening.
there is an altercation. Dunk is hanging out with this little girl. They're like their friends are about the same age. They're scavenging for stuff that they can sell so that they can leave Flea Bottom and start a new life. And there are two. I don't know if the two guys are knights or in the Knights Guard or
They're just
what.
no, they're just two random
They're
pieces of
just two
shit.
random assholes. Okay.
Yeah.
So when they keep fucking with them, and the girl steals the girl steals first his flask, and he's mad about that. Then she steals his knife, and he's really mad about that. And he slits her throat, and he's like, "Oh my god, my fucking my best friend, the person I'm supposed to leave and travel the world with."
Yeah, they're supposed to go to the free cities together.
Right. So he freaks out and attacks the two guys, and this one guy stabs him in the calf. And I mean,
Mhm.
it looks like the thing goes all the way through.
Yeah.
So you're
With like
going,
a pike.
okay,
Like it's yeah, serious wound.
yeah. So it's kind of strains credibility that he's up and walking around. They do have him walking with a limp, but I'm thinking, oh my god, that thing is going to swell up like
Well, yeah, when you
gigantic.
first see it, it's like unbandaged too. He says this like open wound. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right, and he's drinking out of a mud puddle. I'm
I
like, oh
know.
my
Like
god!
I
I
don't know
thought he
why
was
they
gonna wash the wound with that muddy water, and I was like,
I
okay, it's
know.
over.
I don't know if this is what happens in the book or something, because it would like to me it would have made a lot more sense if he just would have hooked up with the knight there, right? The knight like tends his wounds and then he, I don't know, takes him on his squire or something, right? Instead of this like weird sequence of him somehow trailing the knight for like 2 weeks in the wilderness and surviving.
Yeah,
So I don't know. So I
Definitely,
like the first
definitely the
part.
weakest part of the
Yeah,
episode.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like the first part of the flashback with his friend. I didn't like him tailing the night. That made that strained my believability. Okay, the credibility
Yeah.
of the world. But then this is the problem. This is where I say I'm mixed about the episode because then it goes back to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because then he basically because he passes out in front of the knight, and the knight tells him to get up, and then that kind of transitions into like he's hearing the voice of Penny Tree as an adult telling him to get up, so he gets up off the ground after he's been stabbed in the fucking side with the lance, and he gets up. Okay,
Stabbed and hit in the head with a mace. I mean, he's
yes,
taken several blows at this
that's
point. You,
true.
you
That's
don't
true.
know that. I mean, it could end with him dying right there.
Right. So I guess the problem, and the reason I kind of like ran the book to listen to it, the problem I have with the fight, even though the fight, like it looks great, like very action packed and everything, is that after so he gets stabbed in the side with the lance, he rips it out of him, so he's bleeding, he has an
Mm-hmm.
open wound now in
He
his
rips it
side.
right out of his kidney.
Yeah, rips it right out of his side. You're right, he gets hit in the head with the Morning Star, knocked off the horse. Okay, and then he fights the prince guy, and like he gets stabbed like six more times or
He
something.
gets stabbed in the eye. I'm like, did that go into his eye? I'm
I
trying
don't
to
I don't
assess the
know. I
wound.
I don't think it did because it looked like his eye was just like shut from like the damage of the Morning Star. I
Can
don't
you
think he
cut
got
your eyeball in half and it's grow back? I don't know.
no. It looked like he tries to stab him in the eye through the visor. I don't think it quite made it, but it's not super clear.
Right.
Because when he takes it off, it's not like an open wound. It's just like he has like a black eye, like it's just swollen shut. But
So
you
the
know, he
amount
gets
of damage was what bothered you.
that's what bothered me because it reminded me of Game of Thrones. There's like that episode where Arya, when she's in like training in the House of Black and White, and she gets like stabbed like really brutally. I think like beat the fuck by the waif, and then
Mm-hmm.
like thrown into the dirty water, and then I'm like she like survives. I'm like, how the fuck did she survive this? Like Dunk was like, no, fuck that. He's like the Terminator. He's like the T-1000 because he gets stabbed. I'm not exaggerating. I'm pretty sure he gets stabbed 3 to 4 more times again, or at least
He
he
gets
gets
stabbed in
stabbed.
the back. Yeah,
Yeah, he
totally.
gets
As he's
stabbed in the
walking
back.
away.
He gets stabbed through his entire hand with a
Oh, you're
dagger.
right. He has to pull
Um,
it out through the
and then he gets slashed. I believe he gets slashed at least one
through
or
the
two more
chainmail.
times
Yeah.
through the chainmail. And then I think he even gets hit again with the Morning Star or with a lance or something from like another night. Like I'm like, how is this guy fucking like alive? How is he standing? So that was my only problem was I wish it wasn't so kind of like ridiculous the amount of damage that he took. Because to me, I was like, okay, we've drifted from Game of Thrones to now we're in like John Wick action movie, territory of like the amount of damage he's shrugging off here.
Well, they did do a good job of setting it up as he really sucks at fighting, right?
Yes,
And his only advantage is brute force. Like
right,
this guy's a giant and he is twice the size of the other guy, but the other guy is holding his own because he's such a bad fighter.
right.
Which I did like that
Yeah, I
contrast
like
because
that
it
too.
is
Sure.
if he came out and was good at everything. I mean, obviously this is the start of his journey. He's got to really suck. I mean, it looks like this is literally his first fight.
It was. It was
Yeah.
his first fight. Yeah. He throws up in the beginning of the fight. He's nervous.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I like that. I like that he's not super good because you're right. You want to have the character progress. You want them to suck at first, and it does make sense. And it's kind of where I thought they were going to go with like, okay, he's not going to be very skilled, but he's going to have to literally just use his brute strength. That's like the only,
Which he does, and there's
advantage he
good scenes of that where he just basically manhandles the guy, tries to beat him to death with his shield.
Yes. Yeah. So what happens is after Dunk has been stabbed like 20 billion times, and he's still going, he manages to get, I guess he gets one good slash on the prince's like inner thigh, almost on the
Yeah.
dick, but not quite,
Cutting the
unfortunately.
carotid artery. So you're thinking, okay, well, he's bleeding out pretty quick here.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Which kind of you wonder how he didn't die if he really got him. Well, I don't know how anyone didn't die in this fucking like these two characters didn't die because they got so injured. And then after that, that's when he's like beating the fucking shit out of him, right?
Yeah, he pulls
With
his
the
helmet off and he's like, punch him in the face.
he smashed him in the face with his own shield, and then he's
Little
punching him in the
Aegon is
face.
like, yes, kill
Which
my brother.
wasn't he wearing like a was he not wearing a mailed glove? Because at the end I was like, how does this guy have teeth left? Like, he's like punching him in the face with this like mailed glove. I was like, Jesus, that would be like just devastating. But I don't know, maybe he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he basically beats shit out of him. Oh no, there's also like it's weird because before that, like Dunk is kind of fucked up, and the prince is like he's yelling yield at him, and I was like, is he telling the prince that he yields, or is he telling Dunk to yield? Which I was like, well, I mean, Dunk can't yield because if he yields, then doesn't he like lose his arms and legs and
He says he
shit?
withdraws
No,
his
no, no.
claim or grievance.
Before that, the
Oh.
prince is like yelling at when Dunk is like. So there's a part where after Dunk cuts his leg
Mm-hmm.
before he like beats the fuck out of his face. Remember, like Dunk kind of like sinks into the ground and
Yeah,
he's just kind of
Dunk
like
passes
staring at
out
him.
again.
Yes, he
Yeah, and
passed
they
out again.
cut back to the same scene where the guy tells him to get up, which I have a problem with, like reusing some moment
Right.
twice. It should have been a second time.
Yes.
If this episode, the episodes are so short. This episode could have been a little bit longer, and they could have broken the fight up and gone back to the flashback and had a little bit more character building between him and the hedge knight.
Mm-hmm.
So he gives him another moment where he tells him to get up.
Right.
Yeah, instead of just recycling the same moment.
Yeah, these episodes are short, which the other ones I think were fine because I didn't feel like they were missing anything. This one I did feel like they were missing. What I there was two parts of the fight that I wanted to see, which I didn't, which I think was unfortunate, was I want to see the Baratheon guy fight, which we didn't see him fight
Mm-hmm.
any. We really didn't see like anyone else fight. I mean, there was shit going on in the background, but it all happened so fast, you can't really figure out what the fuck's happening. We didn't see the Baratheon guy fight at all, and I wanted to see the Targaryen guy fight because there's this whole thing that they kind of set up that I thought was going to be important, which is that the Kingsguard, the White Cloaks Kingsguard, were going to participate in the fight, and like they're supposed to be pretty competent, and it was going to be like kind of like a problem. And then when the Targaryen joins their side, he's like, "Oh, well, they have sworn an oath that they can't harm me, so I just have to kind of like stand in front of them, like between you and them, and like I'll just keep like fucking with them so they can't like actually harm you." And I thought we were going to see like that, like they're
Yeah.
trying to attack Dunk, and then he just has to keep like I don't know. I thought that'd be kind of an interesting like to see the choreography of that, and then the Targaryen guy has to fight his own brother. Like I don't know. There seemed like there'd be like a lot of cool shit going on in this fight that it doesn't really show us at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would have been cool. They
And they had a
also have
lot of
the main
time.
guy that got the guy that got knighted immediately. We don't see him fight, and he
No, yeah,
miraculously manages to survive, but the good Targaryen doesn't. So you're
and yeah,
like,
and I was worried about that because that guy didn't even look like he was wearing. He was not even wearing like
I know
armor, or he was wearing like leather armor. The other people were wearing like chainmail and shit and plate mail.
yeah, he had to be running from just everyone.
Right, right. Yeah, so then he beats the shit out of the Targaryen guy with his shield, and he's like punching him in the face, and then he gives up. And so he like basically drags him, which again, I'm like, okay, how does he have the strength to do this? But whatever. He drags him by the foot in front of the stands and he basically makes him admit defeat in front of everyone. And so then that ends the fight and they call it off. They say Dunk wins. And then they kind of like all like, go under the little arena to kind of like try to help Dunk. And I did like this scene because there's kind of this very interesting thing that happens where Dunk is sitting and the blacksmith and I guess the other guy who the Baratheon guy knighted they're like taking Dunk's armor off of him and he looks like super fucked up. Right? He looks so fucked up. And he's like stumbling around and then the Targaryen guy comes and he looks like he's not even really injured at all.
Yeah,
And Dunk immediately falls to a knee and he's like, "Oh, well, I'll be your guy. I'll serve for you." And then the Targaryen guy's like, "Yes, you can like be, you can work for me." And everything. So they're like, "Oh, this is awesome. He won't be like a hedge knight. He'll be like an official knight in this guy's, employ." And
he's
then,
going to send the maester around to actually work on him so he can heal him up.
right. So
Yeah,
it was interesting because he says, "I'll send the maester after the maester attends to my brother,
yeah,
who
which
he
is
was
the
fighting
bad
against,"
Targaryen.
which is the
Yeah,
bad Targaryen. But then I like that because it shows like the pecking order, right? It's like even though
of
he's like looks
course.
so much more fucked up, he's like, well, has to attend to my brother for. And then I liked when he even the good Targaryen, he kind of calls over the squire guy or the guy who's just knighted. He's like, "Can you like you got to pull my helmet off me?" And
Yeah.
it was this kind of interesting thing because they're all like, all of a sudden, everyone shifts from helping Dunk to helping the Targaryen guy, even though he looks totally fine. So it's kind
Hmm.
of again like even the good Targaryen guy is like the pecking order is like, no, you even though I look totally fine, you have to help me first, right?
Hmm.
And they're like, only then we have the reverse reveal, which is then they pull his helmet off and he's totally not fine. The back of his fucking skull's missing.
Yeah, his helmet is like basically holding his brain in. When they
Yes,
take the helmet off, he's like, he did say my fingers feel like wood, which I thought, ooh,
yes,
that's not
right,
a good sign.
right.
Yeah.
But see, but that whole sequence was just very so well done because the whole time you're thinking like, oh, there's this like reverse power or this power dynamic. And when he's saying, oh, take my helmet off, my fingers feel weird, you think like, oh, like Dunk looks like trash and this guy looks fine. So you just think like, oh, it's kind of asshole for him to do that. And then it's just the complete reverse of like, no, that guy's dead.
Yeah.
So I thought that was fantastic. I really like that. So my only big real problem was the flashback part with the night, and then just I don't know I don't know why they felt compelled to make Dunk take so much damage in the fight that I just couldn't believe it. Like immediately takes him out of the
To
fight.
fuck with you, to fuck with
He
you. They're
gets
like
stabbed
they
like
know the
20
Game
times.
of
I'm like, how is
Thrones.
he not die out? He's just as crazy to me.
This is the conflict versus credibility dilemma.
Well, to
It
me,
always comes down to that.
to to me, like you lose the conflict, you lose the emotion if I start to be like, okay, like this is starting to reach a point of believability of the amount of damage a person could take and
Right.
still
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. They set up so much. A lot of what was great in the last episode was they did set up this fight because obviously you had the one knight who took Duncan's side immediately and was like, "Fuck the Targaryens, I'm gonna fight with you." And his squire hates the Targaryens too. Like he's done several rants about how bad the Targaryens are. So you're like, okay, cool. He's got that guy and his squire on his side, and he's saying, "I'm going to get other people involved as well." And then at the end of the episode, they offer him a lordship, and he like totally switches sides. He's like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. Yeah.
So his squire says, "Knight me, like right here on the spot. I'm
Right.
fighting with you guys. I'll take his spot." So there's that dynamic
That was a
between the
great
two of
setup.
them, right?
Yes.
So
That was
you
a great
want to
setup and payoff.
see, yeah, it's a great setup for a scene where he's actually fighting, and they actually have them fighting an episode back, right? So we've
Yeah.
already seen them fight one another. So they have a setup that they never really pay off with him fighting
Yeah. We never
his.
saw what happened. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Right. I
they
don't know.
exchange blows? Like, what did they?
I
I mean,
don't
there
know.
had to be some, like, at least fuck you looks going on the battlefield, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's a complete missed opportunity.
Well, there was the
Yeah.
whole thing with the other Targaryen brother who remember he went to Dunk beforehand and he's like, hey, can you like hit me not that hard and I'll like, take a dive.
Yeah. Yeah. Was he was in the fight? Who
He was in the
died
fight.
too? One person died, but I don't even really know who it was. It
They
was some
said two
recruit.
they said two characters who I don't think we're super familiar with died on Dunk's side. I don't know if anyone died on the other
Right.
side.
Yeah.
Like it's three because the Targaryen guy died, but
But they had to spend all that time with the that couldn't be its own episode. Although it would be kind of like everyone would be like, "Oh, that episode sucked."
well, it didn't even. I mean, again, the episode was like what 34 minutes
I
or
know they could
something.
have
I mean,
made
they
this
could
could have
have.
been an hour episode easily,
Yeah, or
easily.
it could have been like you only need an extra 5 to 10 minutes to just have shots of the other people doing stuff in the fight, right?
Those exchanges, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean also then you don't have to have Dunk take 20 million wounds to the body, so he's like the fucking Terminator when he wins, and you're like, how is he still going here?
Well,
Like,
then you also would build suspense too, because there is some like you think other people are going to die as Duncan is fucking around with dragging him over to concede, right?
right?
Because that guy's got to blow the horn, and people could die while he's dilly dallying.
Yes, yes,
So you could see the squire kid who's fighting the guy who switched sides because he got the lordship, and almost being killed, and you'd be like, no, hurry,
Right.
Duncan, hurry. There's all kinds of places to milk the conflict in here.
Well, and
Yeah.
also it's like there's a part and I this is probably foreshadowing in the flashback. His friend they're talking about that there was some sort of Targaryen rebellion or something that happened, but it was over. And so Dunk is like, "Oh, it's totally over. Like everything's gonna be fine." And she's like, "Oh, it's never over. People always remember, what crazy shit goes on." And she says a story about how in Flea Bottom there were some like beggar boys that got into a fight, and then a year later, one of them like continues the fight and almost kills like a shit ton of people. Right. The whole thing is like that. This is the cycle of violence is just going to continue because people hold grudges.
Yeah,
And so
the
yeah,
bad
so it's just like
Targaryen. I'm like, no, kill him, Duncan,
right,
kill him. What are you
right.
doing?
So I'm assuming that that Targaryen piece of shit that he lets live, who yields, it doesn't kill, is going to come back later and be a fucking horrible thing. And you're gonna be like, why the fuck didn't you just kill this guy when you had a chance?
Yeah, totally.
'Cause
But look,
that seems to be what always happens in Game of Thrones,
that's good irony though. Duncan
I
didn't learn
guess.
his lesson.
I guess.
I'm so glad that he wasn't a good fighter, because that for me would have strained credibility far more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's
Um,
way better. And just the fact that like he is a total Terminator. I mean, it is brute force. It is just brute
it's
force.
a bit too much. It's a bit too.
It wasn't too much for me, obviously. It was too
It was a
much for
bit
you,
much.
but
It was a bit
it's
much.
just like, nah, too much, too much.
He
I'm
as
like,
a
more,
he gets
more.
stabbed like 7 times.
Look, Sitch, I'm not happy until he's beheaded and he
Okay.
picks his head up
He's
and
like a
like
zombie
props it on it.
until you cut off Dunk's head. He will keep coming. All right, he'll keep going.
I know. Come on. We want some action here.
Yes.
So what was different about the book?
Okay, so
Or
the
yes.
reason like listened to the fight in the book because I was curious, like, does he get stabbed 20 billion
Yeah,
times
oh
in the
my
book
God, you're
too?
counting the stabs.
That's what I was curious about. Or because usually George R. R. Martin is like a lot more realistic with like damage that people take in
Okay.
fights.
This is
So
Hollywood, baby.
I know. So in the book fight, it's this the beginning's exactly the same. They do the charge. He gets stabbed in the side. He gets knocked off his horse by getting hit in the face with the Morning Star.
Okay.
And then it does the thing where he's on the ground and there's no flashback. He's on the ground and he sees, or at first, actually, the prince tells him that he says that he should give up and says that it'll be better. Like you'll still be able to live with like no hands and like your feet or whatever and
Oh
no teeth.
my God.
Right. So he's like kind of
Holy
being like a piece of
shit.
shit more. And then Dunk doesn't he doesn't say anything because he's like so super fucked up. And he's talking about like how much pain he's in. So then the prince like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll just like murder you. So he goes to like hit him in the face and crush his skull on with the Morning Star. And then he rolls away. And but then what he does is that he rolls instead of rolling away from the prince, he rolls into him. So he's at his legs and he just grabs his legs and just throws him on the fucking ground. And then that's how he gets on top of him. And he knocks he just grabs his shield and starts beating him like in the face right there. And it's kind of like so the fight is much shorter because it's just he knocks him off the horse. He stabs him
Mm.
through the stomach with the lance. He gets knocked off the horse. Then Dunk rolls into the prince, knocks him on the ground, starts beating him in the face with his own shield. And the prince does pull out his knife, but only Dunk's able to knock it away. So he doesn't get stabbed through the hand or stabbed, another 4 times. And it just he's just beating him in the fucking face right then and there. And then the prince says that he gives up. He says that he yields, and then Dunk kind of like considers whether he should like let him yield.
Kill
Then
him
he
or not.
decides that he's gonna
Yeah.
let him yield. And then he gets up, and then the prince tries to like backstab him. And then
That's what I
then
thought was going to happen in the
right.
episode. I was like, no,
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
don't.
Dunk, yeah, when Dunk gets up, the prince tries to go back for his Morning Star again, and then Dunk grabs him. He's like, "No, fuck you!" And then he drags him to the. It's kind of the way it's described in the book is kind of hilarious because he grabs him by the leg and he's dragging him through the mud. And the way it's described is that when he like goes down, his like eyes are purple and his face is white, but by the time he like pulls him up, he's just covered in like shit and like mud. Like his whole body is just like covered in like brown mud and he holds him up to kind of like in the show and he's like tell them and he's like I yield or I withdraw my accusation. So the book is like the fight is like way 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 shorter. It's like a quarter of the length of the TV show fight, but it's more realistic because obviously Dunk doesn't get stabbed 20 billion times and
And
survive.
it's more boring, obviously.
Yes, well
So
it's not boring but it's But they also in the book didn't cover what the fuck was going on with the other
Yeah,
participants too, which
the dad was his dad's in the fight too, and he was super chapped about it. He's like,
yes.
if I fucking die because of your sorry ass.
Yes. Yes.
So what did
So
I wanted to see? What did the dad do? Did he
I don't
just
know.
hang back? Isn't he the king? He's like just fucking chilling.
No, he's not the king. He's one of the princes, I guess.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I don't know who. I don't know what the how the family lineage is all breaking down at this point, but
Who's the
he's not the
king at
king.
this point?
I guess it's one of their other brothers who's not there.
Right. Fascinating. Well, I'm
Hmm.
still hooked. I'm still gonna watch next week. So
Oh yeah, I because I'm curious as like what is the fault of this going to be where Baelor Targaryen's dead and his brother. It seems like his own brother killed him.
hmm
And that's always a big thing in Game of Thrones is like kinslaying is like a big fucking deal. And is he gonna blame Dunk? And what the fuck's even happened to Dunk in the first place? Because he's gonna serve the Targaryen guy, and now that guy's fucking dead. So how's that all gonna play out? So there's a lot of interesting conflict that we're entering into that I am curious to see where it all goes.
yeah, yeah, it's just brimming with conflict.
Yes.
The guy he wanted to live, the good Targaryen, croaked, and he let the guy he should have obviously killed live,
Hmm. Right.
and that's probably going to come back to haunt him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Presumably. Presumably.
But are we going back to the tourney? Is the tourney actually going to happen now?
I can't. I'm assuming not. I mean, well, it's not gonna happen for Dunk, like right? Like, there's no tournament like this point.
He can't.
He-
Why? He should take the dive in the tournament.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Who's
should
gonna?
he should
They're
go up
gonna.
against the guy that's gonna take the dive because who's
You
gonna
get
bet
a
on
guy.
him? He's like all beat up. He's been
He's got
stabbed
one
like a
eye.
hundred
He's got a
times. Yeah,
hole in his side. He's
the
all super
odds
fucked up.
have gone up tremendously.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and if they got the dive set up, he's
Yeah.
gonna ultimately
There you
win,
go. There
and
you
they're
go.
all
That's a
gonna
good
be
point.
billionaires.
That's a great point. But
Yeah.
no, I don't think. I'm assuming the tournament, or this tournament's not going to go on for Dunk is not in any condition to fight. So.
Okay. Damn it! I was looking forward to that tournament.
Mhm.
Oh well. All right. Thank you, Lucifer the Doberman. Gave us a super chat. You have any
Thank you so much.
final?
$3.
Yeah, a thumbs up.
Hmm.
So I hope you guys are watching it. I hope you guys are liking it. And you got any final thoughts, or you want to just sign off here?
No, just I again, even though my complaints, I do
You want to
I
make your
do like the
complaints again?
show. I think it's
Don't
a good
listen to
show.
Sidge's complaints,
I
okay?
do. I'm
He's
always
such a
complaining.
fun assassin, okay?
I am. I do like the show. It's a good show. Everyone should watch it. I am very curious to see what happens next. So,
Is this better than Starfleet Academy? Should I catch up on Starfleet
I
Academy?
mean, you should if you're a masochist and you enjoy pain.
It's so nice to have a show that I'm looking forward to, that I'm watching, I'm excited about, I'm excited to talk about. It's so much better than these shows that are actually work. So
Hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, I guess we'll sign off here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the super chat. And we'll talk to you. I think we're streaming next on Tuesday. So talk to you later.
Take care. We'll see.